Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's January the 9th. The markets are closed. It's not a normal day. President Carter funeral is in progress. But we are coming live today doing a few events for you. This is normally my day off. Whenever it's a bank holiday or an investment, the market's closed, I take a break. However, I have a responsibility, I feel, a self-imposed responsibility to my audience, my viewers, my members. And when we've got important events that my audience follow, I want to bring you the information. So, Tilray Brands. We've got Tilray Brands earnings in the morning. Now, it's very bad timing for Tilray because we've had today off. Remember, the market's open tonight at 7 p.m. and a few hours from now, 7 hours from now, 6 hours from now, at the making of this video, the markets will open. And tomorrow morning, early, pre-market, Tilray Brands will present its earnings on a very weak week, actually, when the markets are very jittery with rates. That is not good for Tilray Brands. Of course, they are a company that are, in a not a financially good situation, borrowing money, not making any money. Now everyone's concerned what Donald Trump's going to bring in a couple of weeks, tariffs, rates staying up for longer. We've got a jobs report in the morning. If that comes in good, it could be a great day for Tilray. However, the earnings have already happened, but it will be just after the earnings. In fact, I beg your pardon, the jobs report will come out when the earnings begin. So that could present something there. What we're looking for is the market to feel more confident that more rate cuts are likely. They just don't know. Doesn't bother me. I'm completely happy where the markets are, but the market priced in more rate cuts than it thinks it's now going to get, and things like Tilray Brands are just not going to do well on this, and it could tomorrow morning be a make or break moment for Irwin Simon and could take the stock down below $1, and then we're in delisting territory. So let's talk about Tilray Brands. We have another live event happening in just a few minutes' time on the half hour after this. A very sad day for investors. That comes up right after this event. I'll give you the preview for it. This is the event coming up at the end of today's show. This is in just 27 minutes from now. I'm going to give you the link for that. In the chat, you will see pinned to the top tomorrow's event, tomorrow morning's Tilray earnings. But there is the event that we will have straight after this show. If you want to join me, everybody else, if you're watching this on the video later, it will be pinned below and in the comments and so on and so forth. But that's happening straight after this. This is the event for tomorrow morning. This is Tilray Brands. You can already go there now. It's pinned to the top. You can go there. We have a poll running as well at the moment in the chat. You might want to vote on that. Now, we do have a couple of ways for you to vote. You can vote in this live chat, and I'll tell you where we are right now, what everyone is saying. The question is, will Tilray beat on earnings? And not surprisingly at all, it's undecided. 45% of you say yes. My experience with this stock is hopiary. People want it to be something it isn't, and they're saying yes, 45%. I don't see any way it can be on earnings, but we'll see. No is 21% so far, and undecided is 32%. That's more likely accurate there. But what is most important is you vote like this. This is the most important way to vote. We call this the Lucas Archie indicator. Think of the Fibonacci. This is the Lucas Archie. It's on my community pages on YouTube. I shall give everybody the link for this one now. Here we go. There is the link. This is where it is. I just posted this 0 seconds ago. So now I'm going to refresh this now, and then I'll refresh it at the end and see how my analysis, maybe changes your mind, or if you change your mind. So anyway, Tilray Brands earnings make or break. The question I'm asking you is, will Tilray beat on earnings? Let me refresh the screen and see where it's already at now. This is always proved to be very accurate. 11 votes so far in the first couple of seconds, literally couple of seconds. 45% say yes, no 36%, and 18% undecided. This will rank on YouTube, on Google as well. People discover these polls, very, very important. Now then, we've only got 25 minutes. We're going to cover quite a bit in this update for the earnings. We're going to look at the S&P, how it compares to the S&P and SNDL. Look at the factor grades, how it compares on the factor grades, what we might expect from the earnings in the morning, and also a little bit of a preview. So this is a nice bit of information coming to you before the markets open and before the earnings as well. So there you go. Tap the like button if you like this information. I'm just going to bring my little mini-me onto the screen slightly more. There you go. Tap the like button if you'd like to share this out and you like this information. Please consider subscribing to my channel as well. That'd be very, very nice indeed. Little update on that for those of you that care about the growth of the channel and what we're doing for Tilray. If you look here, we've got 56,172 subscribers now. Just can't believe it, how quickly that we're growing. We double our rate of growth every month. Quite incredible. Anyway, Tilray Brands, let's talk about it. Tilray Brands, tomorrow morning, Owen Simon will deliver their earnings, Q2 of 25. Is it going to be successful? Are they going to beat on earnings? Well, it comes at a terrible time because the economy now is in a downturn at the moment, really is going sideways, exactly like I predicted. It's why I've been buying Coca-Cola. Defensive stocks are taking the money now. I've shared that with you time and time again. Stocks on the Russell. Stocks, small caps, mid caps are struggling right now. Those that borrow money are struggling right now because people think that rates are going to stay up for longer. And they are. They're finally realizing that. Still, inflation is coming down, but it's sticky. It's proving hard for the Fed to get down. So rate cuts up for longer. And if they stay up, if we don't get a rate cut in January, we're probably going to stay where we are for another year. There might be a couple more 0.25%, but that's going to hurt Tilray. And that might be enough to take Tilray down below $1. And then, of course, it delists. Potentially. All right, so let's look at some important information. First of all, we've reviewed a couple of stocks for this sector. SNDL was by far the better business recently as well because of Irwin diversifying too much, I believe, anyway, into a brewery business. If you want to buy a brewery business, there are better brewery businesses out there. We've always believed it's a $40 stock, this one. If only they could get reclassification, rescheduling, and so on. It's just proving to take too long. Politics does, and it was top of the agenda for the Biden administration. Trump jumped on it afterwards, and it's not his priority. I'm telling you now, and I've been saying this for ages. We already had a vote a few weeks ago, and it failed. I don't think that Trump is going to push this through on day one. He's got millions of things he's pushing through on day one, and I don't think this is one of them. I think it would have happened under the Biden administration. That was one of their main campaign issues. For Trump, he jumped on it afterwards. I don't expect this to pass that quickly. This could go on for another year or two. And if you've got your money locked up, then you're basically losing money, right? If you look at the S&P, back in 2020, if you put your money in the S&P, you've doubled your money. So even if you bought back then and you've still in it now, you've doubled your money, you can always buy Tilray again a year from now, maybe 2 years from now. I would much rather buy it at $10 knowing it's going to $40 than buying it at $138 and it could go bust. That's just good economics. You know, I don't mind paying 10 to go to 40. Much better, much more comfortable doing that than paying $1.38 knowing it could go bust. All right? I mean, it's just sensible, right? The more money you have, the more sensible you are with it, and you start taking less and less risks. Anyway, Tilray from 10 grand would have gone down to 776. Very similar to SNDL. Not much in that, really, is there? Not much in that. So as a comparison, as a back test to the S&P 500 versus Tilray and SNDL, very, very similar. Obviously, the S&P has outperformed since 2024 over the last 4 years, but SNDL and Tilray are very, very similar. There's not a huge amount in that, is there? Anyway, let's have a look at the chart very quickly and look at some news and what we might expect in the morning. All right. If you've just tuned in, please do tap the like button and consider subscribing. We will be covering the earnings for you live. The link is in the chat. That's coming up in the morning. All right. Now then, if we look at this, the factor grades, if you want access, by the way, to our Alpha Spread and Seeking Alpha, links in the chat, also below in the description if you're watching this later. But what you've got here is a hold from Seeking Alpha analysts. Don't care what they say. They're paid to say it. They're probably investors in themselves anyway. I don't take much value in that. Wall Street say it's a buy. Wall Street like it at this level. Okay, Quant is saying a hold, that I like, and Quant is the AI software at Seeking Alpha, which outperforms the S&P. So a good reason to be holding the stock if you're already in. I'm not saying you should be buying it, but if you are already in, you wouldn't be selling it here. That's the point. Valuation is C+, down from D, up from D+. So it's improved. The valuation has improved. Now you might say, well, yeah, of course it's improved. It's gone down in price. Going down in price doesn't mean the valuation gets better. It's the ratio between the stock price and the performance of the stock. You could have a stock price go down and actually it's getting worse, not better. All right. Depends on how they're performing. But valuation has improved. Growth is the same, A-. Profitability is B, down slightly. That's interesting. Momentum is D+, down from C-, and revision C-, that's the same. Market cap, 1.24 billion, of course. That's just the value of the stock, not really the business. I don't really take much account of what a market cap is. Short interest, 12.68. Are we going to get a short squeeze? Nope. We have to have at least 20 and a huge amount of volume. We have neither. But of course, tomorrow we could have volume, but we haven't got the short interest. So don't expect a short squeeze tomorrow. Okay. Unless suddenly everyone shorts the stock in the morning and then it goes up. I don't know. But very unlikely. The stock's still losing money. Forward EPS is 82 cents. So not making any money there. All right. Okay. Let's look at what we might expect. Interesting, this one. This was back in November, though, end of November. So about 4 weeks ago, inside trades, notable buys and sells by significant shareholders. Now, there's been a lot of unpleasantness on the board. People aren't happy. Erwin Simon's always battling to keep everyone together. Insiders selling and then buying back. It's a very volatile area to be in at the moment. If I share with you on the screen the visual of that, if I show you the, scroll down here and show you the inside buying, look at insiders. They've been buying recently, June through to August, not much later on, not much recently, but they were buying back in June. So, a little bit of buying there. Is it a lot? It isn't anything to worry about. 1.5 million. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not a massive confidence to spend, buy $1 million worth of shares. It really isn't anything. So it's making a bit of news, but it isn't anything at all. I mean, if I was Erwin Simon and my stock was on its arse, I would want to sort of give the impression that I'm backing my own stock. The amount of money he pays himself, he can, he just uses some of the money he takes from the business. He takes a lot of money from this business and buy back a bit. It just looks good, but when you look at the numbers, it's not anything insignificant. It's more of a little bit of an attention, get a bit of news. It's not, I wouldn't go, this is great, insiders are buying. A weekly summary of insider trading highlighting notable buying and selling by investors, directors and executives. The trades have been taking place between November 18 and November 22. So it's a little bit, a few weeks out of date this, but it's worth mentioning just before the earnings. Duke Energy reported a recent sale transaction this week and disclosed, that's not important. Let's have a little look. In recent transaction, Tilray Brands Chief Executive Officer Carl A. Martyn purchased 26,000 shares of the company. It's not. I mean, it's nothing, is it really? I could buy 26,000 shares. It's not anything to shout about, really. According to the recent SEC filing, the price per share was $136. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 grand, whoop-de-doo. I could buy that many shares while I'm sleeping, couldn't I? Totally investing in 35 grand. There you go. Following the transaction, Martyn now owns 26. He now owns 26. So he basically wasn't even in, and now he's bought some shares. It's not even worth me talking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. All right. I am going to talk about this though. The Q2 to 25 earnings preview, revenue growth expected, organic sales in focus. All right, Tilray is scheduled to announce Q2 earnings. Yes, we're going to cover it. The company is expected to report a loss. Of 1 cent per share on revenue of 216 million, up 11.5% year on year. Okay, up 11.5%. Not bad at all. Perhaps, but still losing money. We can't keep losing money, and it's okay. According to Seeking Alpha analyst Stone Fox Capital, the upcoming fiscal Q2 results are expected to show revenue growth after consistent quarters of missed analyst estimates, but lack clarity on organic sales due to numerous acquisitions. This is what concerns me. The company seems a little bit all over the place. Some people like that. They think it's great that the company diversifying and all the rest of it. I actually don't find it good at all. I find its lack of direction, and I would just buy DraftKings, or I'd buy and if you want to buy a brewery business, buy a better one. This had so much promise, still could be, but it's extremely risky to be in this stock right now. It's all or nothing, really. Make or break, no question about it. Over the last 2 years, Tilray has beaten EPS 63% of the time, and has beaten revenue estimates 38% of the time. However, the stock price is on its arse. Over the last 3 months, EPS estimates have been 1 upward revision and 0 downward. Revenue estimates have seen 1 upward revision and 7 downward. The stock has fallen 41% in the last 2 months as compared to the broader S&P market gain of 24%. All right. Now, this is the event. We're going to cover this event in the morning. Hopefully, you'll join us for that. The link's in the chat. This video will take you there and all the rest of it. Links below and all the rest of it. This is the poll. We started at the beginning of this saying, what do you think of this? 11 votes when we first started. Yes, 45%. Will they beat on earnings? Let's have a look. Yes, 59%. Now, what that tells me, and I've gained a lot of data from you, the viewers, I see certain stocks get votes on hopery. It's based upon nothing other than, it will beat because we want it to beat. That's not how I invest. I've got to be honest, that's not how I invest. But 59% of you say, yes, it's going to beat. I hope it does. I really do hope it does. Will it be enough though? Will it delist tomorrow? Will it go under the $1? It won't delist tomorrow, but will it go into delisting territory under $1? Well, I would say what is important tomorrow for Tilray, and no one is mentioning it, no one's talking about it, but actually it's more important than what Erwin Simon says, more important than anything. What's important tomorrow for Tilray is the jobs. This data here, tomorrow morning, this non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. Most people don't pay attention to this who buy Tilray. They go, I don't care about this. Well, you should, because this is tomorrow morning. What we need to see here tomorrow morning is a good print for non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Why? What does that mean? Well, if that comes in good tomorrow, better than expected, and then Wall Street and the market think, oh, hang on a minute, we're going to get more rate cuts. Things aren't that bad. The economy's okay. Inflation's likely to come down. It'll be a great morning for Tilray. It's already sold off. It's already gone down, preempting a bad print. So if it does well in the morning, that is more important. And that information will be out live. I will cover it live as the earnings begins. As it begins, within 1 second of it beginning, and chances are Tilray Brands will go late by 5 minutes just because of that. I bet you any money you like. I bet you all the money, all the tea in China. Tomorrow morning, Tilray Brands will go 1 or 2 minutes late, which is typical anyway, but I bet you they will to get that out of the way. Because if that is a good print, the market will go up, Tilray Brands will go up. You mark my words. If that's a bad print tomorrow and the market think that we're going to have less rate cuts, no rate cuts in January, maybe no rate cuts until March, holding up for longer, Tilray Brands will go down even if it beats on earnings. More important than what Erwin Simon's saying is the overall market, the economy, uncertainty of Trump, uncertainty of when it will get passed and rescheduling. It's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? Nobody knows. So tomorrow morning, if you are a trader and you're not an investor, if you are a trader, by gosh, you're going to be watching this tomorrow morning at 7:30. We'll cover it live, and it could be an explosive moment if we get a good print. If it's a bad print, of course, and it scares the market and we're down, Tilray Brands is going down under $1. I'm telling you that right now, 100%. You can say I said that. All right, so there you go. There is Tilray. What do you think? Let's go back to the poll. You all believe it's going to beat on earnings. Is it going to be up on? Is it going to be up on value though? 22 votes. Let's refresh the screen again. 22 votes is now 23. Just changed slightly. 61%. You're getting more and more bullish, thinking it's going to beat on earnings. I really hope it does. But I should have really asked the question, is the stock price going to be up? I think that's more important, because if the stock price, if they beat on earnings and the print is bad on jobs and everything else, and the other figures, what was I just talking about? Non-farm payrolls. Yeah, if that's bad, then it's going down regardless of if it beats or not, because it just isn't. It's still not making any money, right? Okay. There we go. There's Tilray Brands ready for the morning. So I hope you enjoyed that. What we're going to do now is we're going to end this stream and take you over to our next event. I've got another live event. It's a very sad day for investors. What's that all about? If you're a real investor and you want to know what's going on in the world, you're really going to care about this next live event, which starts in the next couple of minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, you've all got the link for the morning. You've all got that. It's pinned to the top. You'll also find it on the homepage. But what I'm going to do now is automatically send all of you, as we finish this live event, take you straight to my next event, which is a sad day for investors. And you'll find out if you tune in just a couple of minutes. It really does say a lot about human sentiment and people and so on. And that I hope you join me. It's going to go live in 2 minutes. So let me redirect for there. Sad day for investors. There it is. I'm now going to give you all the link. Here it comes. Let me give you the link for this now. Let me just grab it from here. Right, this is the event. This is where we're going now. Sad day for investors. You're really going to have your eyes opened up in a minute, I think anyway. Or maybe not. So next. Okay, next. It's called, Sad Day. Okay. There you go. That's there. That's coming next. If you click on that, you've got the Tilray earnings, plus you have next sad day. All right, you've got that there. So I'm now going to take you there automatically. As I finish this broadcast, that's where we're going next for our last show. There's no more shows after that until tomorrow morning when we cover the earnings for Tilray. All right, so we're all set. This should end perfectly. So I'm just going to end that one. I've got that lined up. I'm doing all this because we're about to go live onto the next event, so I need to make sure everything is all singing and dancing before I end the stream. Otherwise, I won't be quick enough to jump straight in. There we go. Let me just say hi all to everybody. There you go. There's the next show lined up, and we are good to go. All right, you ready? Okay, thank you very much indeed. Join me now for my last event of the day. It's a sad day for investors, for those that want to know what's really going on, and it's a mark of human sentiment as well. It really is important. All right, that's it from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now tune in to the last event of the day until we meet again tomorrow morning for the open, those important figures, market figures, and of course, Tilray Brands earnings. Till next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.